Hey, welcome back to Postal Barbecue. I'm Jabin Postal, and today at the grill we're cooking up a delicious honey garlic loin chop, and let me tell you guys, it is phenomenal. And just like always, I'm going to put all the show notes for you in the description box below, so make sure to click down there to see everything that you need for this recipe. Also, if you like what we're doing on this channel, consider subscribing for more great barbecue recipes, tutorials, and reviews. And other than that, let's get into the cook. So today at the grill, we're gonna be cooking up some delicious pork loin chops. And you know, pork loin chops are a really delicious cut of pork because they're kind of like the T-bone or porterhouse of the pork world. On one side you have the pork loin, and then you have on the other side the tenderloin. So you have two different cuts of meat on the same chop, making for a great feast. So to prepare our honey garlic loin chops, we're gonna keep the rub fairly simple today, and we're gonna start by placing on a little bit of this garlic infused olive oil onto both sides. And this is gonna be a little bit of our binder. Let's get both sides. All right, then for our barbecue rub today, we have 2 tablespoons of kosher salt, 2 tablespoons of black pepper, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, and 1/2 tablespoon of onion powder. And so let's go ahead and place that onto the outside of these chops. And because these chops are almost 2 inches thick, you can place a generous amount of this barbecue rub onto the outside of these chops. The other sides, there we go. So with these loin chops all prepared, I'm just gonna let them hang out on the cutting board while we prepare our honey garlic sauce. So to make our honey garlic sauce, I'm first of all gonna place in 1/3 cup of soy sauce. Then to that, I'm gonna take about 5 or 6 cloves of minced garlic and place that in. To that, I'm gonna add in about a teaspoon of minced ginger. And then I'm gonna give it a stir and bring it up to a simmer because we want this garlic and the ginger to simmer just for a few minutes so it can soften and allow those flavors to really come out and blend with that soy sauce. Okay, so after a couple minutes of simmering, let's go ahead now and add in 1/2 cup of honey to this. All right, then to this I'm gonna add in just a little bit of cornstarch just to thicken it up slightly. And with the cornstarch, just add in as much or as little as you want. If you want it really thin, don't add any at all. If you want it thicker for wings or as a dipping sauce, just add it to your preference. But also remember that as it cools, it will thicken up naturally. And so keep that in mind. Okay, so after about another 30 seconds to a minute of simmering with that cornstarch, you can see that it's sticking to the back of the spoon, which is sort of the consistency that I'm looking for as the glaze, as a sauce for these chops. So let's turn off the heat and we'll let this sauce cool while we get our Weber Kettle set up for cooking these amazing loin chops. So to set up our grill today, I filled up a chimney basket about 2/3 of the way full and got it fully lit. Once it was fully lit, I then dumped it into the Loin Sear with the water reservoir removed. I also put the grill grate door back on the grill. I also placed in today my grill grates, and then I closed the lid and let those grates come up to temperature. So today we're set up for 2-zone direct cooking, and I have the grill grates in there and they've been preheating for about 2-3 minutes. So let's open up the grill and get these loin chops on. Place them on. We'll give it a little bit of a press down just so there's great contact on the meat and those grill grates. We'll get the second one on as well. Get a little press. We'll close our lid. Okay, so with our chops cooking, let's go ahead and set a timer for 1.5 minutes before we turn it 45 degrees and continue cooking for another 1.5 minutes. Okay, so there's our first 1.5 minutes. So let's go ahead and we'll rotate these 45 degrees. And we'll give it a little bit of a press. Again, we'll close the lid and we'll start our timer again for another 1.5 minutes. Okay, so we're 3 minutes in now, so let's open up the grill and give these a flip. Hoo-wee, look at those. Again, we'll press those down slightly just to get some nice contact on those grill grates. All right, let's get that lid closed and we'll start our timer again for another 1.5 minutes. Okay, so our timer shows another 1.5 minutes, so let's open up the grill and we're gonna rotate these again another 45 degrees. Just give it a press down. At this point, I'm also gonna take some of that honey garlic sauce and I'm gonna coat this top section. Okay, so we're at that 3-minute mark on that other side. So let's remove it from the grill grates. And we're gonna flip it over, because we wanna get some sauce on this backside. So go ahead and brush on this honey garlic sauce. And then again, I'm just gonna flip it over, because we wanna get this top section glazed one more time. Okay, so we've removed our loin chops from the direct heat over into the indirect side. Then I glazed these chops with that honey garlic sauce. And so now it's important to check for the internal temperature just to see how we're doing with this cook. Okay, so these are both reading about 95 degrees, which means they're not fully cooked yet. We need to bring them up to about 140 degrees. And so we're gonna close the lid and we'll let these finish coming up to temperature on the indirect side. And when they get to 140 degrees, I'm gonna pull them off to get ready for the taste test. You can see that our pork loin chops are all done, and guys, they look incredible. They have amazing grill marks from the grill grates that we're using today. Then just that color from that honey garlic sauce that we glazed on at the end is just really making them shine. There's juices all over the board, and so I know that these are gonna be good. So let's grab this one and slice into it and go for a taste test. All right, let's go ahead and taste the loin section first. Man. Oh, that's so good. So guys, one of the great things with a cut like this is that the meat is very mild. And so whenever you're pairing other flavors with it, like this honey garlic sauce that we made, it just really pops and it comes through really nice. You get that flavor of the pork, and then that honey and garlic really comes through and complements that meat very, very nicely. This is an incredible tasting loin chop. Let's go ahead and try the tenderloin portion. Let's go for this bite here. We'll get some of the juices. Here we go. Oh man. Guys, this is probably one of the best loin chops I've had in quite a while. Right away, you taste that rub that we put on and the pepper that's coming through. And then you're hit with that natural pork flavor paired with that sweetness from the honey. And then that garlic just comes through and it just sort of stays on your palate for just enough time so you can get to that next bite. And speaking of next bite, I need another one. Here we go. Man, that's good. So there it is, that sticky and delicious honey garlic loin chop, just in time for your next feast. Hey, if you want to see more barbecue videos just like this one, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell, and we'll see you next time.